Good afternoon, y'all. It's currently almost like 9 o'clock in MT's room, but but let's go ahead and get started on another video. And I thought I'd just kind of do like a real quick video of how I take trades of I'm saying with the trend, and I I'm just now adding in the long-term version of it. So here we go. So we're looking at the pound CAD. We're gonna be looking at the pound CAD this whole entire time. And so the pound CAD, we get our bias first and a trend. We notice that the daily is going down, the 8 hours going down, the 4 hours going down, and even the 1 hour is going down. But it's currently going up right now. And as you see, the rest of the pairs are saying it's going up, but long termly, we're going to the downside. So now we know we're looking for downs. So we know we're taking trades at the top of the bands. And as simple as that, and because his charts are so perfect. Now, the very great thing about us looking for trades at the top of the bands is that whenever I look at the whole story, I'm like, the daily pound CAD has a blue going to the downside would help. And then I look at the 8 hour and I see like a daily flashing up, right? I see a daily super flashing up. I see in blue going up right now, but an 8 hour pushing against it. Okay. Oh, see now that it's gone. It is. Yeah, see it's gone now. Now that it's gone, the blue's gone. I would be more biased to the downside. I have a 1 hour signal. So now the thing about getting in at 35 is that you're not at the top of the bands. So if you were to put 35, once you get momentum, and you put it at 43, if you were to put it your stop loss past 43, so 43 will be like 48. So about 48 is where I would be expecting to take a trade to the downside. So we just have to wait the move out. This is the perfect time to realize that when you're trading right here and you're thinking you're gonna go down, like it's at the hot chart orange line, it's at the BB band, but it's not. You think it's gonna keep breaking down, boom, 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 perfect. But you have to be at a high, so you don't have to worry about taking out your trade. So what we're doing is just waiting for the correct trade on the pound CAD to the downside. Everything tells me to the downside. My bias, my daily, my 8 hour. I've seen the 4 hour has hit the orange line. So I know the trend is down. So I definitely know that. And I see the point, it bending down and everything in the 1 hour. So I definitely know I'm going to the downside. The best way to maximize me doing this, I'm gonna put like a um maximize this is that the pound CAD is gonna be great. Now to get confirmation about my trade and about our trade is that we want the pound in our favor, the pound USD in our favor, and we want the UCAD in our favor as best as possible when we take our trade. So we're just gonna wait out the moves, like everybody's saying hi to everybody, good morning. It just depends on when you get into the room. Who knows? Everybody's saying what's up, you're in their bias and trend. So getting there at the beginning of the room, you actually might get a little bit more help because in the morning time, that's when things are crazy. So me going through the bias right now is completely different than me getting in the room an hour later. I have to get my own bias. I have to know how to do that. You have to know how to do that. So the pound CAD right now is an up move, but at the top of the bands is where I take my trade. Okay. So at the top of the bands, let's just zoom up a little bit. So at the top of the bands, and it went to 38. At the top of the bands, let's see, let's zoom up a little bit. 42. So wherever this was up here, when it went to the top of the bands, that was the move. I'm not too sure. See, I said 38, but here it goes. Yeah, there it is. So once it breaks the band, you're at the top of the band. You're able to take your move. You know you have one at 43, so you take your trade there. When it breaks the band at the top of the band, now you're getting your signals, going down with the trend. Don't worry about it. You're in a great move. Okay. So boom, this happens, and to be honest, um, I was like, I can't believe that the trade was gonna go against me. I took it at 41, and it only went to 31. I knew it had more than that. That didn't make sense to me that I got into a trending trade at the top of the bands and it only gave me 10 pips on the pound cap, but not even 10 pips. You know, like it was a quick 10 pips. So I held it. You hold in your trade, you take another trade at 42, 43, see if you can get a better one. Okay. 45. And then boom. So throughout this whole thing, if you got in at 38, it was at the very beginning, and you put your stop loss SGT. Are you kidding me? Did that just work? So if you got in here at 30, when was it? When was it? SGT, man, I'm telling you. So if you got in at 36 and then you put your stop loss 43, so 48, and you would be a winner. And that's crazy because like I would know to take the trade at the top of the bands. You know, I wouldn't want to risk my trade. I don't want to. I have a tight stop loss. So if me taking a trade at 36 to the downside, no, my stop loss has to be like a long-term trading because I'm at the bottom of the bands. And when you're going with the trend, you're always like, okay, I can win. So once you think about me risking, it was 36, so it was about 12 pips. So I'll be like, okay, 15 pip stop loss. So I was thinking about that. The trade from 36, if you took it from 36, has to go 30 pips from 36. It has to go to 0-0 for that trade to be like a successful trade. But you know, we got in our trade at 41, and it didn't really go against us too much at 42. And I felt like I should have waited for a hash arrow whenever I took my trade. I just kind of like knew what was going to go on. And then right here is another entry. It's going up. It goes down to 14. And what happens when it breaks the bands, the 5-minute bands, there's going to be another entry to the upside. So you just wait for it to go to the top of the bands. And here you are at 26. You know, if you got 25, anything up there, you just take the trade. Make sure you have a nice stop loss where you don't really lose. Like 7 something on there. So you take a down trade, and that's a move. And then the 12, and then you have another move right here. It's at 19 or 20 right here. This is another bounce, so at 20, and then yep. Let's see. Here we go. So even right here, I mean, let's say you stop trading because of blues or something. Let's say this was enough for you. Okay, like right here at 82. Now we took trades at 41, and it went to 45, and that's just because I sped up the video. But you always want your trade, your very first initial trade, at a 5-minute BB band. For me personally, I just seen the signals and I felt like I got in at the top of the band. I knew if it was gonna go against me, it's gonna go against me a few because I took a trade too early. But when you're at the top of the bands and you do have a proper stop loss and you're going with the trim, as you seen, like I was risking 12 to 15 pips because of a early entry, but I knew my trade was gonna win, but I had my take profit way more than the initial move and I was able to win. So that's real great. It went to 79, so those are some killer moves. But the thing about open TP and going with the trend is just that once you're at the top of the band, you go with the open TP moves and you keep trading until you break another band. Just I'll show you another example. Let me show you another example. Because look, that's all you needed. Let me show you another example. I'm just gonna pull up 61. I'm gonna go back from the beginning, and this is gonna do it for it. So we're gonna talk about the pound CAD because it moves a lot, and the pound CAD is going. The trend is up. You have a daily up. You have an 8-hour. You have a 4-hour pushing against a blue, which is going down, and you have it going up right now. So 35 would probably be the only entry you could get if you didn't get 24. But since the trend is up, we're taking trades from the bottom of the bands of the 5-minute chart. So that's pretty much it. So right here, I can easily say it right here, y'all. But look, so it gave us an entry. I try to skip it so fast because I know y'all understand it, but so it was that little entry right here. It went down real quick. This right here was an entry to the upside, but listen, guys, if you took this trade at 32, okay, let's just say you took the trade at 32 and your stop loss has to be under this band. So 24, I know it was. So, and put it like 5 pips under that, okay? So once it's under 24, so you'll be at like 20 if anything. And so that is like 12 pips or something. That's not a lot. So your take profit is open, but your take profit, you're going to get 24 pips out the move. Okay? Does that make sense? And so watch it. It goes to 54. There's another entry right here. Yeah, there's another entry. It went to the bottom of the bands. Right here is another entry. At the bottom of the bands, it broke it. It's another entry right here. 36. This one is going back with your trade. So now at 36, because if you didn't get at 55, which actually I definitely would have recommended you after this move and then went to 55 to get out. To get out. I mean that's 20 pips. But definitely if you didn't get out, great, because it's still gonna give you 24 pips. You're still in a trending move. Don't gotta worry about it. And if you take this entry right here at 36 again, you're just like, okay, you just believe in yourself, and now you're at 54, which is way better, and now you're at 75, which is even better. So once you get to 75, where was right here, once you get to 75 and you took trades from 30s, just because that's what it was, 32, 36, and both your trades were, you could have even took your profit on the 32 and got 20 pips and then just waited for that move and still not even have to worry about it. But at the same time, if you took one trade for 20 pips and the other one for 30, that's a real successful trade. You're starting to get blues on the 1 and 4 hour. What does the golden ticket say? Trade the 1 and 4 hour directional living candle. Okay, you're getting blues on the 15, the 30, the 1 hour, and the 4 hour, and you're getting the higher arrows. That's all the signals pointing to the downside. It hit the top of the 8. It broke the 4, broke the 1. So it's time to come down a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. So it went to 23. Now, anybody knowing what I'm going to say next? Julian, your entry has to be at the 5-minute band. Okay, great. Your entry's at the 5-minute band. Here it goes. Here it goes. Right here. Once it breaks the band. Oh, yeah, I'm all up in the band right here. So it's at 24, 25, 26. Is it going to stick? Man, I'm already in the trade because it's breaking the bands. So as I take a trade, do the upside, it goes to 23. As you see, it's at 23, so I was good for my 23. I'll be like 19, so I know I'll be good. Just the SGT style of a stop loss is great. Just getting in with the trending moves and getting into it if you have late entry, because I mean if you're at the bands you don't have to worry about it, but when you actually see it, like if you actually seen this go to 23 on your chart, then good. But if you're looking at mine or looking at the screen, you only seen like 26, so that's what you would have had to have. You would have got 23 pips. And here goes another move, 78. So it's kind of like, here goes it at 40. I wouldn't say at 40. Let's see. 44. I would be into an up move at 44 because it's hitting the. This one right here is just so tricky, y'all. Like this move right here, if I want to go up, I want to be at the bottom of the bands. Okay, this is either the one you either stay away from or you just you gotta trust. See that right there, that band flip up, that was enough confirmation to be like, okay, that was this low, so I'm in 46. See, and it doesn't go against you, and then that was a good move. That was like probably the last move. After that, you don't have to trade anymore. I went to 78, and that's great. You trend traded. You got out at the BB band. You got out at the 5-minute bands. Blue showed up. Hey, great trade. So you were able to take from the pound CAD like 100 pips, and that's, I mean, 30 there, 30 there, 30 there. So you're able to have a successful day with trading the trend. Now, I know y'all want me to talk about trending blues. I know you do. I know y'all do. So I'm gonna bless y'all and talk about some trending blues. No, for real. But I gotta see which ones are trending. It's down, it's down. Do I see any up? So okay, here he goes right here. This is a trending blue right here. So we look at the USD CAD, and the USD CAD has blues, right? It's on the 15-minute charts, and I looked to go see why it has blues on there. And it's breaking the 1 hour, it's breaking the 4 hour. This is before the room, It's breaking the 1 hour, breaking the 4 hour, 8 hour, and bouncing off the daily yellow band. Okay, so me knowing that I'm in a trending blue, so I take a trade at 48 because I know now with the proper stop loss, I'm perfectly fine. So 48, the low is 45, so I'll be at like 40 with the stop loss. I'll be risking like 8 pips to get like 16 going to the upside. But the thing about it is, y'all, you always want to trade at the BB band, okay? Always at the bottom of the BB band. And so when you wait for your entry, you're going to get your entry. Watch this. Here it goes. It goes down. Right here is another entry. But see, this one is a little bit tougher because this one is fine. You're having a ton of momentum. You got the DX in your favor. You're going to the upside. This wasn't the whole move. And you've seen it break past this. So it's past the orange line. So now you can take an up move. This is under, this is under. So now you can take an up move with the momentum because you have a 4-hour signal. So this is going with the golden ticket right here. And you just know for a fact that your move, that this from 45 to, it didn't even go up that many pips yet. So it's definitely not done yet. Okay. And then boom, it goes to 60. So in this case, in this case, um, this would be like your exit because once it goes to 60, it's breaking all those bands. Like whenever it broke this band, I most likely would have been out for the last time. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Here we go. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's play from here. So as I'm taking my trade up, and it's 56, and I got 48. So it gave me 48, and I'm up only 8 pips, okay? So I know I had to get more pips. I know I had to get more pips. So to me, it's kind of looking like I was against the trend because to be honest, like I took this first trade because it was going up right here and up right here and up right here. But whenever you start looking at the overall story, you're starting to see this break down, down, down. You're starting to see this go down, 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 and down. So the real trend is actually to the downside. It hit the top of the band. Now this, if this gets a signal in here, this is now the trend. So, boom. Well, it didn't. So, it didn't get a signal, and come on. I'm about to say, oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, what? I could have sworn it went way more than that. All right, so that right there um, is the reason why that I don't take trades from that spot. Cause look, 47. How many times did it go to 47? 47. I would have had like 50. So 48, 50, and see this one would have been risky. This one right here would have been risky to take this one at 53 going against these, and like like I know my entry's at 49, so I know I wouldn't be tripping about it. I'm just hoping that my trade from 50, which is under 49, about like 42, it will be good. So I know my trade is good, and I know my entry is all right. So I hold it in, and I get another entry at 48. So I got 48, 50, and 48 again. And this is the big move. This is the move I've seen with the trend. And after this, though, uh, yeah, but a video. Oh, sorry, y'all. I was texting Kevin the sniper. I was telling him that the trade this morning, my 4 hour candle, like the 4 hour trade, it actually won. And I remember saying that whenever I was in a trade and I was like, man, y'all, it turned super. You know how long a 4 hour super candle lasts? The whole 4 hours. And I was just looking at the candles and I was like, man, that's so good to see that it won the whole 4 hours. And then a little bit after that 4 hours, it broke the resistance and it went back up. Obviously, though, right? But my trade won for 4 hours, which is important to know. And holding my trade, which is important to know because seeing the big move and seeing exactly where I need to go, that's what I need. So now at this point, since it's breaking the 4, breaking the 1 hour, I'm getting blues now. Okay, now I'm good with my trade. I got the supers coming in. Uh, shoot, I'm pretty much putting a 1.5 to 2 stop loss on this, and I'll be out my trade. So that's a trend in blue. And stick with it. That's what I mean. And I had to show this video because on this day I was so prepared to take trend in blues. And I just know I was so prepared. And I read the trend correctly from the beginning of the room. So now, once it got up here though, and you're getting your blues and things like that, it's breaking the 1 hour band and breaking the 4. You know you're going to have a down move. This is a new start of a new trend. So yeah, so this is all what me and Kevin was talking about. So up here, once it goes back up, there's just more entries because it's not breaking this top, and man, that's so great. It's not breaking the top, so it's gonna go down, and the fact that it was gonna go down like that, he knew, Kevin knew that this 4 hour signal was gonna cross. He knew the daily signal was gonna cross. He knew the or this is the 8 hour. He knew the daily was gonna start bending down. Kevin, like that was so awesome of a move, and for me taking that up is perfect because that's exactly how I want it. And then me getting out my trade because it's already at 68 is perfect because that's exactly how I want it. And y'all, now the trade is all the way down. I just had to take that trade per se because there's two trending blues. There can be two trending blues. As you've seen, it was trending to the upside. Yeah, it was definitely trending with the long term. But now look at it. Now you're like, you know what? It is the 1 hour is kind of down. The 15 didn't really cross. The 30 is kind of down. Hey, like I can see it starting to turn around because it's a bounce off this. Great, you know, and that's the move right there, right back at you. Okay? That's the move right back at you. And that, my friends, at 75, oh yeah. So that's perfect. I'm glad the video went pretty well. And yeah. So that's it. Jules MT is out.